Hey, Corey, Faymus Media, and today we're going to be looking at different lens options for your iPhone. So today we're going to be looking at different lens options for your iPhone. One is the iPro system from Schneider, and the other is the lenses from Moment. Not very many reviews on either, but there's definitely no real reviews comparing the two, at least not on YouTube. So here we go. Most photographers who want to get a break from carrying the big cameras around and just use their phone to take family photos or vacation photos and not have to worry about lugging around the gear, this is a good option, but you don't want to be carrying your phone around with no case. If you drop it, the screen could crack, something bad could happen. It's bound to happen at some point or another. I've dropped my phone a couple of times. So you want to have something with a case on it. So the iPro system comes with a case that clips right on. It's got the two red buttons here on the side for the volume and the black button here on the other side for the power, and it also has quarter 20 screws as well, so you can mount it to a tripod plate, which is very convenient. Overall, this is a very nice case design, and the lenses snap right in to the case. So you can't use these iPro lenses without the case, but who would want to anyway? This is a spectacular case. In fact, it's my favorite iPhone case because you can mount it to a tripod to do time lapses and all kinds of good stuff. So overall, it is a great case, solid and very affordable. Now, the other option is the Moment lenses. Now, the Moment system comes with a plate that you actually use as adhesive, and you put it to the back of the phone. Now, many people are concerned with that, thinking that they're going to rip the paint of the iPhone or they're going to bend the plate and not get it off. The trick is, when you want to remove that plate, because it's not permanent, believe me, I've taken them off just to test this. You use a hair dryer just to warm it up real nice, and it'll peel right off. You may or may not bend the plate. I didn't bend the plate, but I took my time. With the Moment setup, you also have the option to get one of their cases, which if you look, you'll see that when you turn the case sideways, you have a shutter button, so you can control your iPhone just like a camera, which is an advantage as well. I haven't had a chance to look at that case yet, but I will be doing so as soon as it's available. I've been talking with Vince over at Moment, and I'm going to try to grab one of those to review it as soon as I can. Now, the thing with the Moment system is that it does work with a lot of cases. They do have a compatible case list on their website. However, the case that I'm using, which is the Blason case, which comes off of Amazon, it's a very affordable case. It's like less than $15. But it works with the Moment plate. And if the Moment plate ever comes off, which is behind the lens, you can't really see it, it's not gonna let the lens go because of the fact that the case has locked it in place. So this case I use to clip on my belt holster, so this way I can carry it around hands-free, and the screen is protected by the piece that it clips to on your belt. So you can use the Moment lens system with that or a Moment case, whereas the iPro, you're pretty much stuck with the iPro case, which is good. The advantage for the iPro case is that you can mount it to quarter 20 tripod plates, whereas this Blason case you cannot, and with the Moment cases you cannot as well, but you can buy iPhone camera clamps that will clamp onto the phone and have a quarter 20 on them. So you're not really limited. There's always a way around everything. So before we get to installing these cases and lenses to show you how they work, first I want to go over two very important things. First is, no matter what lens you put in front of the iPhone lens, you're never going to get better optical quality. This is because you're placing a lens in front of another lens, and the iPhone lens is already terrific. So the thing is here is we're hoping to not only gain a wider focal range or also a portrait tele-style focal range, we're also expecting and hoping that we can achieve the same optical quality as the iPhone. So it won't be better, but if we can get relatively close or equal to, the optical quality of the iPhone camera will not get worse. It'll stay the exact same. You'll just get a wider angle of view or a telefocal length. So we're trying to get the two different focal lengths without degrading the quality at all. That's the goal, but we're not actually going to make it better. We're just going to give ourselves some options while retaining the same quality. So for this review, I chose the iPhone 6s Plus, and the reason I did that is because it's Apple's best camera to date, and not only that, it's the best camera of any smartphone on the market today. And the reason I say that is because of many things. Megapixels are not everything. The sensors on these cameras, iPhones and the Samsung Galaxy, the HTC M9, all of them have very small sensors. The problem with this is you start cramming 20 and 30 megapixels into a sensor that's literally 20% the size of a DSLR crop sensor, and you start getting a ton of noise and you lose dynamic range, and you have what we call crosstalk, which is very, very bad between the photo sites, causing all kinds of miscommunication and noise and loss of detail. You may think you're getting better detail with higher megapixels, but it's not. There's in-camera sharpening, a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of things I don't want to get involved in right at this moment, but I will tell you that Apple has eliminated the crosstalk between the photo sites. So the iPhone 6s Plus has 4 megapixels more than the iPhone 6 did, but the noise performance is as good or better, and the autofocusing is better. So we're gonna use the iPhone 6s Plus, and I am going to take you in and show you at a closer view how to put these cases on and lenses as well, and how everything works. So we have the moment setup stuff right here and all the iPro from Schneider right here. So we're gonna go over the basic differences up close so you can see how to install it. The Schneider case is pretty much a slide on to install. It's not hard whatsoever. You just basically place your phone inside the grooves and you gently slide it through the case. It's not hard at all. And then you clip the top piece on, starting on the left side of the phone, and you work your way to the right side until it clips into place. You won't really hear it in the camera, but it makes a very, very faint clip sound that lets you know it's in place, and that is done. That's how you set up your case with the iPro. Now, mounting lenses is very easy. They come with these couplers here, which allow you to put the different lenses together so you can carry them all together and not separately in bags or in a different case. But you'll notice it's got a 3-piece groove set for locking it. And you're going to place this inside the case, and you're going to twist gently clockwise, about 90 degrees. And that's how you mount the lens. And it's very, very stable. They're not going to come off. It's pretty rugged. I'm sure if you twist as hard as you could, eventually you might break something off, but it's not meant to be as rugged as a professional DSLR, but it's not going to fall off. You just, like I said, you basically place it in gently into the slot, and you just turn, and then you have it. It's installed. You can take pictures with it. Everything's good to go. Taking it off is very easy. And you can use the standard lens for the iPhone. You can take the lens off and just shoot regular. So that's a good thing about the case. You can use it as a regular case, but you can also use it with the lens installed. You can put the little lens cap on, and you don't got to worry about dust and stuff getting on your lens. And then the tripod mounts, the 1/4-20s, or make it amazing. Why I love the case, it's got grips on the side of the case. It's overall a really good setup. It does say on their website it's only for the 6 Plus or the 6, but this is the 6s Plus. Works the exact same. The phone is pretty much identical, and the lenses work with the iPhone 6s Plus. Even though they said they haven't tested it, they do work really well. So that is the setup for the Schneider iPro. Now, with the moment setup, they do have moment cases, which will allow you to have a shutter button on the case on the side, which they're just getting ready to release the iPhone 6 Plus and 6s Plus cases, but the 6 and 6s cases are already out. If you don't want to use their case and you want to use your own case, they do include this plate with the lens. You just have to mount it per the instructions, which it does come with a spare plate and also the mounting adhesive. So you're just going to basically align it like they say right here in the directions, and you're going to press it down firmly for 30 seconds, and it does not interfere with your camera at all. And even if you don't have a case, it doesn't look that bad. It's just a black adhesive strip. It's really not a big deal. People are afraid of removing it, but like I've said many times, you just use a blow dryer and you pull it off gently, and you will not ruin anything. There's no real trick to it. That's just about it. Now, if you want to use it with different cases, Moment does support different cases on their website. You can check that out. But I use the iBlazon case, which I know is kind of cheap. It's only a $20 case, but I've been using it as a professional photographer and carrying it in my gear bags and everything for almost 2 years, and nothing has broken on this case. So I recommend this case because it's rugged, affordable, pretty darn cheap, and it does not break. As far as I've had it, I've never had any issues. So works perfectly, and I'm going to show you. You just basically slide it. I'm going to put a link in the bottom for this case on Amazon, and you will see that it just snaps. The rubber is a little snug. You'll just snap it in, And once you hear the click and it's in, it's now protected. And as you can see, you can still access the mount for the Moment lenses. So it does work flawlessly with the Moment system. This case is great. It comes, I believe, in blue, black, or red. I picked black, but this case is really tight. It fits snug, and this whole piece, the inner piece, is solid, really rugged rubber, so it will not scratch the phone at all. Now, you've got the backing plate, which you'll place your phone on gently, and you'll press in the middle first. And then you'll just make sure the edges are on, and it comes with the belt clip. I know some people don't like it, but I do, and most professionals will want to have something rugged so it covers the screen. So your phone is protected and rugged, and as you can see, you still have access to the Moment lens adapter. So you don't have to worry about not being able to use your lenses with this setup. And as I will show you, I'm going to take the Moment 18mm. Be sure to mount the dot right here, which is the mounting dot, just like you'd have on any DSLR, and you're going to place it this way on the lens. You're just going to place it in gently, and you're going to turn clockwise until it's locked in place. So as you can see, I can use the Moment lenses with my own case. So it really comes down to which case you like better and what's more affordable. It's going to cost you $228 for the case and 2 iPro lenses, and about $230 for this setup. So they're about the same. The only difference is you're going to have to get a clamp for the iPhone with a quarter 20 on the bottom, which will run you about $30 for a good one. So it's about $30 difference. So it depends on what you're looking to do. They're considerably heavier than the iPro lenses. But as you can see, it's quick removal and quick mounting. I can go ahead and put the telly on at any time. Just got to make sure you line it up right, and you just lock it in place. Good to go. So the Moment lenses quality are great, and as you can see, this eye blazing case does work with it. The Oliclip lenses mount to the camera with no case. These are the ones I prefer. I would never ever take a phone that's $1,000 out shooting with it in rain or rugged weather or doing anything in a professional level and have the phone just wide open. You drop it, it's game over. So these are the two options, and what it really comes down to is what works better for you. If you want something with a lighter setup and you don't want to mess with a clamp and you want it to be easy to slip in and out, the iPro is for you. If you want better optical quality, and you don't mind a little bit of heft and you have your own case and you want more flexible options, the Moment setup is better for you. I'm going to go ahead and show you now. We're going to move into a few photos that I've taken with each of the lenses, the tele of each manufacturer and the wide angle of each manufacturer to show you guys. So here we go. First up, the iPro wide angle. This is the first shot I took, and much wider than you can get with just the iPhone. Moving into the second picture I took, and you can see on the left side of the frame there is some distortion. Now that's to be expected. Most wide angles do have distortion. Here we go with the tele lens, and it looks awesome. It's great to have these options available for your phone so you can get closer without digitally cropping and destroying the image. Here we go, wide angle from Moment, and it looks stunning. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next image, which is identical to the one I took with the iPro, and you can see there is considerably less edge distortion. There's almost none whatsoever. So by the time we go on to the tele lens, the 60mm Moment, you can see that it looks just amazing. Everything looks great, much better than the iPhone lens for getting real close to the subject. So head to head we go, and as you can see, the iPro lens has got some distortion on the edges, whereas the Moment does not. Let's check out the other image, and as you can see in the corners and the edges, the Moment is much cleaner. The iPro lens seems to be suffering from distortion. On the tele lens, though, they're almost neck and neck, but take a look at the house. As you can see, there's more even blur on the Moment. Here we go. Let's crop in 200% on the first image, and you can clearly see there's very little distortion on the Moment. The iPro is suffering from edge distortion, and in the corners, here we go, edge of the second shot, and you can see the Moment clearly wins again. Significantly less distortion. And here we go with the tele lens. You can see in the top left corner, there's very little, if any, distortion on the Moment, and there is a noticeable amount more on the iPro. Well, that's going to do it for the iPro versus Moment lens comparison. I'm hoping you guys had a good time, and if you're trying to decide which one is a better setup for you, just know that you've got to put the adhesive strip on your phone for the Moment lenses, but they're better build quality and better optical quality, but they are heavier and slightly more money, and you'll have to buy a bracket for your case to mount to a tripod, whereas the case with the iPro system is fantastic and already has quarter 20 screws ready to go. and it has 1/4x20 threads ready to go in the case, so it is a viable option for anybody who wants to just run and gun, get it over with real quick. But the Moment lenses are just a lot better optically, and that's what counts the most. I'm actually filming on the Tele 60mm lens right now, and as you can see in 4K, the iPhone 6s Plus with that lens is just fantastic. So it's a great setup, and it is amazing that we've come this far with technology. And the guys at Moment have done a great job. I'm going to try to review some of their cases and their other stuff. And the iPro systems are very good as well. Let's see what else they bring to the table in the near future with these new iPhones that have come out. So hopefully you guys have had a great time. Don't forget to subscribe and to support the channel to purchase any of the gear I review, like the iPro or the Moment lenses, or even the cases that I'm using right now. I'm going to have all those links in the information box below. Please support the channel and use those links. Also, don't forget to stop by the new Facebook page. Happy shooting. I put a link down there in the information box as well. And happy shooting.